We're following the Sixtysimthings GT3 Season Series 4 and in this video we look at round 5, which took place in Spa, and I have my best race to date. Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Wolfie's Wheels. In today's film we continue our tracking of the journey through Series 4 of the GT3 Sixtysimthings Sim Racing League Championship, and today we're over in Spa. As I said in the brief mini intro, I had my best ever race. That doesn't mean my best ever finish, because it wasn't, but it was certainly the most enjoyable race I've had to date, mainly because I ended up not driving around on my own for a change. But anyway, more of that later on. Spa itself is located, if you didn't know, in the southwest of Belgium. It was first used for Formula 1 in 1925, so it's a lot of history, and it changed its format in 1979, where it dropped down from being a 14-kilometre circuit with bits of road, public road being used as part of the track, down to 7 kilometres, which is in its current format. They did manage to keep some of the very famous corners on it, the most famous being of course the Eau Rouge / Radion complex just after the start finish line, and there's also a corner called Blanchiment, which really does take some doing, but you can take it flat out in these GT3 cars, but yeah, you have to get it right. It's a big accident if you don't. So the track itself, as I said, is now just about 7 kilometres long, and it has 19 corners, including the previous mentioned 3. I'll try and remember some of the other corners as well. On this track, the real life GT3 record is 2 minutes 18 point something, and as usual I'll put it sort of down there. The really fast guys on Assetto Corsa Competizione, for example Adameo Castorini, has done it in 2 minutes 15 something in qualifying trim. Our fast guys, as ever, Will Racing, was doing it in, I think the best lap he had was 2:18 something, with the bulk of the pack being around the 2:23 sort of time, and that includes me. My best time was 2 minutes 23 something, and again I'll put all these down like I normally do. Now normally we'll jump straight into the race. However, today we're just going to look at an incident that occurred in qualifying, and it actually caused me to burst out laughing while I was driving. I was qualifying in the Ferrari, and I was sort of on the track at a similar time as Andy Gore, also in a Ferrari. And I know that Andy was a bit faster than me from some of the previous qualifying laps. So as we came down sort of across the downhill part before Radion and Eau Rouge, where I know I'm giving time away, I thought what I'd do is I'll let him come round, and then I can follow his lines exactly, just to see how it went. And this is how that went. So we start off here with Andy coming down towards the fearsome Radion and Eau Rouge. I want to see where he's going. A lot more on the left than me, and on the right. Oh dear. I'm sure that's not quite what he meant to do. What does that mean for me? Well, what it means for me is I'm following him, and I don't really have a lot of time to do much other than follow him. I go left. Wow, it's a lot of left. That's all right. And then I just literally follow his accident and end up driving into him. I mean, I laughed out loud when that happened. And the mic was turned on as well, so everyone heard. This is what it's like from the helicopter view. So yeah, losing it. You have big accidents here at this complex. And there you go. So we both ended up returning to the pits. So there you go. That didn't quite end as either of us planned. Anyway, now let's get into the race itself. And we'll run through the grid lineup as usual. And in pole position in the BMW number 5 is Will Racing. In second position is Stuart Charles in the McLaren number 722. Third position goes to Steve Hancock in another BMW, car number 98, with Andy Policott taking the 4th slot in car 13, the Lamborghini. Andy Gore, who we saw earlier, is in car 36 in position 5, Alongside him is Mike Hansen in the Aston Martin, car number 56. I'm on the last row in car number 27, the Ferrari, and Craig Thomas, and welcome back Craig after an absence, is in the BMW in car number 96. As usual, we'll commence proceedings by looking at the start, and we'll have a lap based on the helicam. This time we're going to be following Andy Policott in car number 13. That's this real focal point. There we go, we're off. Reason being that I'm hoping that we can all kind of maybe stay in the same shot, although Will with his he shoots up at the start. Who knows how many cars we're going to see. I'll say many times, it really does look an awful lot closer once you're in it. And I would imagine from Andy's view there behind Steve, BMW, it looked pretty close down the Kemmel Straight. So we're about maybe a third of the way around the lap, past with the campsite, down into a downhill right-hander. And we've got this left here, which doesn't actually have a name. It is literally called No Name. I don't know whether that's official or not, but we've already lost from this shot both Will and Stuart. So Will has already got 1 second over Stuart, who's another 0.6 over Steve, who's in third. So we're about half a lap through now, and the top two have already got the thick end of 1 3/4 seconds advantage over everybody else. We just saw Stuart there in the bottom of the shot. So yeah, but so it's focusing on Andy just for this lap. Coming around now to Blanchemont 1 and 2, and then just approaching the end of the lap now. We've got a final chicane which has got the pit entry just on the right of the picture, and then we come sort of over the line to complete the first lap. And as is usual, we'll have a look at the start and the first lap from my perspective, coming into the first corner, Radion in the Rouge complex. I know I'm slow through there, have been all weekend, but I'm not so slow on the other bits. This is known as the Kemmel Straight, one of the fast parts of the circuit, slightly uphill. Look for the braking point, which is about now, and into the Les Combes. Les Combes chicane, right left, and then a right-hander, which I think is all known as the Les Combes complex. And you start going downhill into the right-hander called Brussels or Bruxelles. You have to start turning a little bit early because that front left-hand tyre needs to have some load on it before you turn in, I find. Come down into the No Name corner. It says there, yeah, really, No Name. Bridge, look for the top of the gate on the right, just there, brake, turn it into Poo on the right, and 2, still going downhill, brake hard under there, throw it in right into the Les Fange complex, and we've got a right hander here, campus, on the right, and then we come into a corner which is, I think, called Frère. It used to be called Stavelot. Stavelot village is just in this area. We're catching nicely up on Mike, and we come into Blanchemont Part 1 flat and Part 2. Can I do it flat? No, I've got a little bit. Coming into the bus stop chicane, first time, bang. Turn it right. Mike's gone a bit wide. Can I get him? No, I just can't. I will hang on. Can we do this? Right, we can maybe out-drag him down to the start. I don't know. I may well have even gained this. No, he hasn't done it. Go over the line. Into the source hairpin. So that's what it looked like from my angle. Let's just see it TV cam from Mike at the chicane. Goes a bit wide. I think he just outbraked himself. We just missed each other a couple of 3 times. As I say, and then we just sort of drag down to the last source hairpin, going over the line. I'm just behind. I'm going to dive right, take a tighter line, and do this. Done it many times. Yep, no, no. Okay, I've not got him after all. So go down and see what it looked like from my own board. So it was all pretty close here. So try and dive down the inside. Put the foot down, and then we come down to the complex of Oradion and Eau Rouge, and I know I'm going to get left behind there because I'm just not quick through here. So that's what that little section looked like. Meanwhile, ahead of us, the battle between Steve, Andy Policott and Andy Gore is sort of hotting up. This is the view of Steve being hotly pursued by Andy Policott. So they go down to Radion Eau Rouge. Much faster than I am through there. Great shot, I think, of the car coming through there. Then we jump on board with Andy Gore. Just as it's a good view of the battle, and of course it's part of this battle. It's not that it's not his battle. I mean, we're all battling for the position. Don't forget, this is for third, and as you can probably see there, Will is already 1.8 seconds ahead after 1 lap. So Andy Policott is all over the back of Steve. Probably trying to intimidate him into making an error. It's always a good technique. I generally don't get away with it. I'm generally the one who makes the error. But it's some good shots, I think, from Andy's car. And we are a little battler, some 3 seconds behind this lot. Around Blanchimont 1. Does he do it flat? No. Okay. And we come into the bus stop. Meantime, over to my view against Mike. As we're coming round again into Blanchimont section. There's one. Do I bottle it? Yes, I definitely bottle it there. We come into the bus stop. I'm quite close. I'm not going to let this one go. I want to fight for this position very much, so give it some gas. Oh my god, I've done it again. I've thrown it. And then Craig comes past laughing all the way from his car, and this is what it looked like. I mean, you can see what's going to unfold, I think. I don't know. I mean, he's not out of touch here. As we come into the chicane, and he just sees me spinning round, too much gas, too early on the slippery part of the track, and that's it, it's thrown away. Rejoin the battle between Steve, Andy and Andy. We're on board now with Andy P as we come into the Radion Eau Rouge, and he's really got a good drive out of here, and I think he's going to attempt to get round Steve on the straight. He's looking up from the outside as they're coming into their cone. Can he do it? Can he outbrake him? Yeah, I think he's got him. Yeah, he's got him. Very close, and then we're just going to jump on board then with the view from Andy Gore's car as to how it's all unfolding. So that's what it looked like from his perspective, and he can smell the blood there. I think he's very much after a piece of this action. Yeah, so we come down into Brussels, throws it round right. They're a bit quicker than me. I'm yeah, definitely quicker on the entry than I am. We'll come around into No Name. And now we'll take a fast lap with Stu Charles in the number 722 McLaren 720. He wasn't actually the guy who set the fastest lap of the race, but we often ride with Will, so I thought we'd have a ride with Stu this time. Come down here, past the pits all on the right. There's a pit exit on the right there. Finishes where that line was. 269 kilometres an hour before braking hard for Black Combe. He has got Will ahead, but as you can see he's 3.8 seconds ahead at the moment, so he's kind of in sight from time to time. Definitely faster through there than me. Round into no name. And we've got the two lefts. Into the banner, into La Fange. I'll carry a bit more speed in that first part. I wonder if I'm carrying too much. You can learn a lot from faster people. I reached 269 on the last straight, Le Camel straight. I don't think this is as fast through here. No, it's not. Is he going to lift Blanchemont Part 2? No, he just keeps it now, 257, perfect. And comes round into the bus stop. This is a pit entrance directly ahead. And round to the left. And over the line in a 2:20. Meanwhile, the battle between Andy and Steve is hotting up. Andy Polycop has managed to gap them a little bit into the chicane. I don't think it's going to end well. Rides too much curb, and yeah, oh dear, he sadly accidentally takes out Steve. That's not how Andy would have wanted that to finish. And there's a view of this from the outside now. You can see all over the back of Steve is Andy. Just takes the wrong line. And say T-bones poor Steve. This does, however, lend itself an advantage to some other people, such as me. This is my eye of view. It's Craig in front and make a split-second decision. I don't know if Craig's involved or not, so I just go round them all and out of the other side of the chicane. I know the shortcut through there many times in practice. And now we get on board with Will Rayson, the race leader, bus stop into the pits. It's a very long pit lane, and the last thing you really want to do here is get any sort of pit penalty. There's the 50, look at the speedo. Oh no, it's missed the pit limiter. As you saw, that's going well over, and that surely must be a penalty that it's going to have to serve. Oh no. Coming in slightly behind, Will decide himself that it's time for a pit stop, and I end up following Mike into the pits. Hopefully we can get this car stopped in time. There's a pit limiter there. Yep, okay, yep, that's all good. It's a very, very long pit lane, as I explained earlier, so we'll kind of take a couple of different views as we travel down the pits. There's Mike in front, pits right, just there. Keep going down here for ages. Slightly speed the film up a bit. Go round the corner and come down into where the GT3 pits are. I'm not sure whether Mike's going to be in the way of my pit box. I don't think he will, because he qualified ahead of me, so I should get a further pit box. Anyway, through there, and we stop. Cloud of smoke. up on the jacks. The fuel's going in. Hopefully I can get out ahead of Mike. I don't know. No, it's off his jacks. Here we go. A good restart there from me, but yeah, I'm just not going to be close enough to Mike. So this is how it looks coming out the pit lane. That's how close it was. We were not, I don't think, that close as we went in. But yeah, there you go. Well, what can I say? I'm going to have to jump in here just to say we're wrapping this film up here at the pits. The reason being I've got some software issues with the editing software, and it's decided it doesn't like the film anymore. So I'm cutting it here, and part 2 will be released basically at the same time as part 1 on YouTube. So please bear with me, and you have to just watch it in 2 parts of about 15 minutes each. Anyway, hopefully I'll catch you in part 2.